Chante-moi l'histoire d'une fille d'autrefois. Hi everyone, I'm Sandrine. Welcome to a new Outlander review. This week's episode was called Useful Occupations and Deceptions. Let's talk about it. First, some quick thoughts. I kept thinking that Jamie and Claire were speaking very freely in front of their help. Maybe you should keep it a little more secretive. I mean, could they possibly tell someone? Maybe they would. I'm just saying. Claire is looking very, very pregnant, which makes me think now that when she goes back to Frank, it has to be after she's had her first kid, or after this pregnancy has to be another pregnancy. So then I'm thinking, well, what happened to the kid? Because she didn't seem to talk about him. So then did she lose the kid? Did he die? What happened? Probably won't find out for a while, but that's the way my brain works. The lunch with Louise and Mary. Poor Mary, who was like,
probably your husband doesn't do that, but I heard what French people do.
Oh, sweetie, we need to have a talk. What is fascinating about Mary, though, is that she's supposed to marry Black Jack. And that marriage leads to children that will lead to Frank. So Claire's a little conflicted there, because on the one hand, she's like, I want Black Jack dead, but if he dies before he has a kid, then Frank doesn't exist at all, so I don't want that. Yeah, that's a tough one. So as Claire said, we're gonna have Black Jack for another year. Yay! Let's move on to L'Hôpital des Anges. I'm so glad that Claire found a place to offer her skills and be able to help people, and that actually led to them being able to decipher the code from the letter, which is pretty cool how it all kind of works together. Love Mother Hildegarde. And of course, Bouton is adorable, her dog. At first you just think, oh, he's like a cute dog. Wait, he can tell what's wrong with you? That's amazing. I should teach my dog to do that. And speaking of connecting Mother Hildegarde to the rebellion, let's talk about the Jacobites rebellion, which apparently is going strong despite Claire and Jamie's efforts to slow it down a bit. Charles is very determined to make it happen, to say the least. And with them finding out that Sandrine has something to do with this whole thing, Claire kind of has to tell Jamie that Black Jack is not dead. So, I think she's gonna tell him probably in the next episode, but yeah, brace yourselves because poor Jamie. On a more pleasant note, I did like that he took under his wing sort of and gave a job to Fergus, that little sneak trying to give women compliment. Not sure that was the best compliment to give, but he does spend a lot of time in a brothel, so his idea of what works with women is probably very different in there than, outside of the brothel. So it was kind of a fun twist. Like, ooh, you're a kid who can steal things. I have a job for you. Overall, a pretty good episode. I think it's a continuation of what has been set up in the previous 2 episodes. Not as exciting as the first 2, but there were definitely quite a few things that I enjoyed. And we're getting deeper and deeper into trying to change the future, closer to Claire revealing Black Jack's still alive. So I think that's gonna be quite an exciting turn of events. But of course, these are my thoughts. I'd love to hear what you thought of this episode. Did you enjoy Claire going to the hospital and them hiring Fergus? Anything else you want to mention? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss my Outlander reviews. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye! I love Jamie and Duvernay playing chess, and Jamie never letting him win, and he's like, it's okay, you can let me win. Like, please, dude, come on, let me win at least once.